I'm looking at mRNA, and I didn't even realize that they dropped so much. Did they have like bad earnings or something? Imagine if you played like 344. Imagine if you bought 290 puts. I wonder how cheap those were. Let me try to pull up this chart. I don't even know how to pull up this option. Oh, wait. If you guys want to talk to me, by the way, talk in Dungeon Chat. That's where I'm in right now. Alright, waiting for one more person. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, I'm gonna start now. 1 second. I want to look at these mRNA premium prices real quick. Oh wait, it shows right here. So this is the call. How do I go to the put? One second. I don't know how to get to this chart for the put. Alright, so it was at the 4th. It was at 0.34. No way. So if you bought 290 puts, they're at 234. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. All right. I wish I knew mRNA earnings. All right. So today we're gonna be going over chart patterns and like channels and just chart patterns I see, and we're gonna be going over like candlesticks again. I did go over some candlestick stuff last time, but I think it's important to know, so I'll be pointing out candlestick stuff. If any of you guys want me to go over any charts, put them in Dungeon Chat. I'll probably do this recording for about like 30-40 minutes maybe, depending on what I see. And the first thing I'm gonna be going over is Penn. So Penn had this huge drop today, and like I'm not even surprised because do you see, first of all, this is another channel I drew. That's not really relevant though. So I drew this channel a couple weeks ago, and I drew it on a live stream, I think. But I think I drew it on one of my first ones. But basically, like, do you see how it keeps rejecting the same trend line? That's where I got this trend line from. It's quite simple. So I was trading this channel, and then it was staying above this trend line right here. So this is just a channel. It's not really like a wedge or anything because it's just parallel lines. But we see how it drops. This would have been the time to take puts. So like those would have printed, and then it retests this line. And a lot of these times when things fall through channels or fall through lines, there's a lot of times where they will be retested. So this is a very, very healthy retest, and this told me, this red candle after this retest showed me that this was going to keep going down. And the reason I say that, another reason is, if you guys don't know what inside bars are, I'll do a lesson on that sometime. But anyways, inside bars are, see how this bar is inside this bar? Basically, your entry would be if it fell below this, like this line right here. So let me draw that. If it fell below right here for puts, I don't know why that's not sapping the place. 1 second. So your entry would be right here, right? And then if it went above this candle, above this inside bar, that would be your other entry. So we see that, and then we see it fall below this entry. So that's when you would have entered puts, and then your price target is always the next candle. The next candle's low. So you would have entered, and it would have hit this price target, and sorry, I had to mute that dude. So that was a very easy play. I had this on my watch list. I love inside bars, and then the next day we just see it tank, and I think why did I don't even know why it tanked. I play the charts. I don't play DD, and if you guys notice, sometimes like if a chart gets into demand zones, right? So see how this is a demand zone. I'll go over supply and demand, but see how this price bounces off here like 3 times. That we can just put it up here because the wick doesn't really matter. See how it bounces off this zone, bounces off this same zone, and then bounces again off this zone. This is basically a demand zone. I have a video on supply and demand in my pinned thread, but like right here when it bounces off of this, there was PR for I think both of these actually, and a lot of times you'll notice when stocks get in the demand zones, the stock drops PR. And PR basically means news, like good news, and like they don't want to drop it when the stock's at the top, like really high, right? Because I mean, it's going to make it go higher, but not as high as it would if it was in a demand zone, because demand zones are when institutions want to load up. So they wait till it drops the demand zone, and then they drop good PR. And that is a very common thing in supply and like in demand zones. I'll teach you guys more about demand zones some other time. Let me just see why pen dropped real quick. The hit piece against Dave Portnoy. Oh wait, was that because? Did it have something to do with the people bought? Oh, okay, never mind. Gotcha. So, yeah, I didn't even know why it dropped. I just saw it fall. And if you guys know this guy named Jake, last name starts with a W on Twitter. He posted a pen chart, and if you guys know what volume profile is, there's basically a volume thing that shoots out from the side. I can probably show you guys in Thinkorswim in a little bit, but it was sitting on a ton of volume, and usually when it drops below the thick parts of the volume, it falls, and it literally, we saw it drop right through there. So there's a giant gap that it, yeah, I don't know what his last name is, but we saw a giant gap in that volume profile. Let me try to pull it up real quick. On Twitter, his name is Jake something. Yeah, Jake Wojcik. His at is Trent Spider. So he posted a pen chart, and it looked really nice. Targeting 265 to 270. Ooh, I am too. That's good to know. So if you guys look at the chart, right? Do you see how there's this giant volume shelf right here? We see it cut right through. So we're probably going to see pen keep dropping down to, actually, we're probably not going to see it drop to this price. We see a bounce off here. So this is the next support that it needs to test. And I think this might be the 200. Oh no, this is the anchored VWAP. So I think this line and then this line will be the next line it needs to test. But usually when it falls through these gaps of this volume shelf, so see how there's like nothing here, it usually just free falls. So I'm pretty bearish on Penn right now, to be honest. And if you guys don't follow him, go follow him. He posts really clean charts, as you can tell. This is a very good setup. He posts setups like this all the time. The descent, like that's a descending triangle, and then it pops out there. But you want to be aware of channels, and when it's something retest. So we see this nice retest, and then we see an inside bar, and then playing puts off this would have been nice. And this bottom of the candle is literally at exactly 72, and 72, as you guys know, is a psych support level. So it drops below that 72 level, and then it goes down to this price ticker here, and then even goes even farther. So that was a nice play you could have taken. Let's look for some other patterns. I don't really have any other patterns like written out, but they're really easy to find. So I usually look for patterns in the daily. And right here on GM, I kind of see a head and shoulders a little bit. It's very sloppy, but like this would be the head, this would be the shoulders, this would be the next shoulder forming. It's kind of like a double shoulder thing. And I don't know if I'm very bullish on GM right now. It went up a ton today, and as you guys noticed, Tesla's been running, like Lucid ran, Ford's been running. So a lot of the car companies are running. So keep a watch on the car sectors over the next week, because we will probably see them run. Oh shoot, it closed over that level. Wow. So I was actually watching this level right here, and I was gonna buy calls if it closed over, and I apparently did, but I missed it. It was right at the end of the day, but we see this huge pop in the beginning. It makes a higher low, and then it keeps making higher lows all day. It doesn't make higher highs, but look, what is this? Someone tell me in the dungeon chat what I see what I'm looking at right now that I just talked about. No. First person to get it gets nothing. What is this? Come on, someone's got to know. No. Yes, the channel. So this is another channel. Why is this a channel? Well, look how clean this is. We see all clean bounces. Bounce, 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 bounce. Doesn't really bounce here that well, but you could consider that a bounce. Or you could even draw it like this. It's all up to you. I think you should draw it like this because it bounces 3 times rather than... This is kind of more of a fake out. Yeah, so it could be a falling wedge too. You could, but it's a little sloppy. I see this as a channel. And as you can see, I charted this earlier. It broke out of the channel. It closed over the channel. See how this green candle closed over? And that's when I went long. And then it actually wicked down. And something like... It's hard to say like, oh, if I bought it right here and it wicked down, it's hard to say you would have not sold it, because in the moment you have no idea what's going to happen. All you see is a break, and then you see it go way under the channel again. So why would you not sell? But you really have to wait till the 5-minute candle closes to actually see what happens, because that just tells me so much. So like, even if it's way down and the 5-minute candle doesn't close, there's often like pushes back up. It often pushes back up. So I always wait till it closes, because if this wicked down like this and I was a new trader and I was in, I'd be like, oh, it just broke back under the channel, I'm going to get out. But in reality, the 5-minute didn't even close yet. And as you guys can see, the 5-minute ends up closing way up here. Yeah, 5-minute candle closes are my favorite confirmation for like any breakout. I always use the 5-minute. Some people use different stuff. Depends on the type of trader you are. So like I know some people who use a 3-minute. And I think the 5-minute is more reliable, but the 3-minute can help too. And do you see how this bounces, bounces, same thing. And then it actually consolidates on the 3-minute right under this line. And then it finally shoots up on this third one. So there will be people moving using the 3-minute. And then if you took calls here, 58.40, that was a nice 40-cent move up there. But that's a really clean channel, and I was watching that all day today. So that's just one pattern you want to know. Let's see. And then you could say that it creates in like a pennant breakout. And so there's multiple ways to interpret this. Basically, you know when the draw pennant is if it makes a higher high and then a higher low, but then a lower high. See how it makes a lower high and then a higher low? That means it's consolidating. So that's when you can draw triangles, and you can literally do this. Ready? So it breaks out of this one, and then we see it make another higher low. So we could have connected the line to this. Like, pretend we didn't see any of this. Like, at first you would have connected it to this. Second, you would have connected to this. And then we see it break out again, retest this line, breaks out again, and then makes another higher high, but it doesn't make a higher high than this higher high. So you can move this line up to this, and then finally we get a break, like nice strong break, lots of volume. See this volume candle, how much bigger this was? This is where you would take the trade because of this volume candle. And if we are using the channels on the 3-minute, this is actually the 3-minute right here, but if we were using the channels, you wouldn't be able to tell that was a breakout, so you wouldn't have bought there. So it's nice to know a few different patterns, because you can look at other patterns. And if you're on the 3-minute and you're actually using a channel, you would have bought up here, and that's only like a 30-cent move. But if you saw the breakout with the Pennant way down here, you could have got like a 60-point move. So it all depends. I always try to look for multiple different patterns on the chart. Here we see a nice channel and we see a pennant. So yeah, and 30-cent moves for options, by the way, go crazy. Like you could be up 100%, especially today on a Thursday when premiums are low. And you can definitely be up a nice thing. Let me see if I can look at the calls. Chart. So 59 calls. So yeah, so 59 calls were, so this was at 3 o'clock right here. And if we go to the daily, so basically you guys know how it broke out, right? So this was at 3 o'clock, and it was at 0.09 to start of the day, and then it ended up with 0.50. But if we look at the 5-minute, it was at 0.25 before the breakout, and then when it broke out of that pennant, it went from 0.25 to 0.57. That is over 100% move, and because 0.25 plus 0.25 is 0.50, so 0.50 itself is 100%, and then it goes an extra 0.07. So that is like, that was a very, very clean and nice play. Now how do I get back to the normal chart? All right, there we go. So and as you can see, this started breaking out at like a little after 3:15. So the premium price starts to rise right here when it passes 58. So this is just a very clean chart in general, and this shows you the importance of drawing multiple patterns. Like one might work, but like always try to look for another, because you might be able to get confirmation before, like in this situation, you got confirmation using this pattern faster than if you use a channel pattern. So that's a main reason I always like to look for that. Let's go over AMC now. So AMC is actually in a nice pennant too as well. So see how it makes a higher high, lower high, and then it makes a higher low, higher low, higher low. That means it's consolidating. We saw it shoot up here when meme stocks are running. It got rejected. It actually never closed over this line, or else I would have been pretty bullish on it. Got rejected. And now it's bouncing down from this trend line. So to be honest, I would be like bearish on this. And I'll go over that chart. Yeah, that's a really good pennant. So I would be bearish on this, but as you guys know, earnings are next week, November 8th, and I just found that out. I thought this was earnings for some reason. I don't know why I thought that, but earnings are November 8th, and I think we might see a run up. So I'm going to watch it, see if it closes over this line in the daily, and I might take a few calls if it does. But if it ends up bouncing here before the 8th, which I do not think it will, because this is all the way down to 35. Actually, it has a chance to. That's only $5. So if it drops down here before earnings, I might lotto a couple calls, because I think with the restrictions that came off, I think AMC definitely has a possibility of having good earnings. But again, if you guys are playing, I'd never play earnings, but if there's like a call like $10 out of the money that's like $5, I'll definitely take it. And it would be these calls. So right now, like the 55 calls are $87. That's way too expensive. So maybe I'll wait for Tuesday to look for like a call the price, and maybe I'll probably end up getting the 60, because if AMC has good earnings, I can definitely see this like WSB going off in this. That's Wall Street bets if you don't know. And this could definitely go crazy, and it's like primed to break out. But if it goes down, I'm not really scared, because I'm probably gonna look for a contract like underneath $30, and that's nothing. But no, earnings didn't happen. Above 41.20 bullish. 41.20. That's 42. Why 41.20? 41.20 is right here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so above 41.20. So this actually got rejected in pre-market today. And then it got rejected today. The same level got rejected. So if it closed over this 41.20, like Nick says, I would definitely be bullish on this. This is actually a major level. Thanks for pointing that out. I'm mainly just looking at the daily for this, but we can definitely see something crazy happen. And this is what I think. So I might actually try both a call and put, because I think earnings are either going to be really good or really bad, but I have no idea, honestly. And I think it could go crazy either way. So if the contracts aren't too expensive, I might try both, but I'm leaning more towards calls. But I mean, I love playing puts for earnings. I feel like most people play puts, but it'll definitely be interesting. AMC, so it's Tuesday after close, so I'll have to look for a contract Tuesday. But if you guys notice before earnings, by the way, usually the implied volatility gets jacked up, and when the implied, and that's basically IV. So when the IV raises, that raises the premium prices. So, that's not a good thing. You want to try to buy options with less than 100% implied volatility, and clearly these are very, very risky. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Let me go over another chart, LI. This also, as someone pointed out, is in a nice pennant. I don't even know on what. Wait 1 second. Oh, on the weekly. Yeah, so do you guys notice how it's kind of a little sloppy, but if you drop from here to here, you can consider this very close to breaking out, so I'll definitely have that on watch. So as you can tell by this, it was rejected by this, so we definitely see downside here to 28. That might be a good spot to play puts, but watch for a break over this line on the weekly. I'll actually post this chart in Discord, but that's another good pennant. IV crush, LI like move with other EVs. So, okay, I didn't know that. So I don't even know what this company does. I played it before. Usually, I don't like the way this moves. So if you look at the 1 minute, it kind of moves like barcodey. Do you see how like some of these candles have no volume? If we go to the volume, let me pull up the volume. Like this candle literally has 1,000 volume. That is terrible. So like this moves very, very weird, but when it does move, and the options are pretty good on this. Like you can easily get 100% option from here all the way up to here. Yeah, it's a slow grinder definitely, and I think what's the float? Free float is 27 billion. That's crazy. Oh no. Never mind. It's a billion, so that's still crazy. That's really high. The higher the float, the slower it moves. Remember that. And then the lower the float, the faster it moves. Let's go over another. I'm bearish on this. I don't know if you guys want to short this, but that's basically a free play. It's probably not going to bounce back soon. It's probably going to get down to this 241 level. That's the next demand zone I have. Do not play options on this though. They're way too expensive. I actually, if you guys have like a school account or anything and you want to short this, I mean, that's what I did, and it was easy money. Let's go over Sava real quick. So Sava is also in a ascending, not really ascending triangle, but a pennant. So if we look at this right here, so we saw Sava. There's a short report on it today. That's why it went up so much. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how this breaks out tomorrow. We could draw it like this. No, I don't like that. So keep this on watch. Again, don't play the options. They're way too expensive. Like, look, the 85 call is like $500. LI is earnings. So yeah, so I don't have the point of control on here as it was basically that volume shelf. I think that's what you're talking about, the volume shelf, right? And you guys saw that on the Twitter I posted. So like this is the volume shelf. So it probably bounced off one of these big giant shelves right there. But I can't see that on Webull. But that's basically what he's talking about. Let's look at another chart. Fubo. So Fubo was my friend asked if he should go long in it today, and he actually bought it like 34.30 and then sold it 34.40 because I told him to get out. And can anyone tell me why I might have told him to get out based on looking at this 30 minute. Nope. 1 hour. Nope. All right, can anyone tell them why I told them to get out based looking at this? In the dungeon. Yeah, so yeah, perfect. So resistance. So yesterday I was actually going over this with my friend, and I don't know if I said I don't know if I said on Discord I was watching it, but as you can see, back in July, it rejected this crucial level, this 35 level, and it's also a psych level. So it hit 35.09 right here, and if we go even further back, this level is also rejected right here. This 35-ish level. It's not like exactly 35. It's just like right here is 35.09, but the main level you want it to close over is 35 because that's the psych level, and then your next level you want it to close over is the 35.09. So I was watching the 5-minute chart all day because I was waiting for 5-minute close over these. And do you guys remember how I said, I think it was Penn. Oh no, it was the. Oh no, it was GM. Sorry. So when I drew the pattern on this chart today, do you remember, like, if you look at this, I'm telling you guys something very important about volume, by the way. If we look at this on the 3-minute, do you see how when this broke out, it had all this volume compared to like no volume right here? That is a true breakout, and that will like most of the like almost 100% of the time go up. And if we go back to frick, what tickers was I just on? Shoot, I just blanked. What ticker was I just looking at? Oh yeah, Fubo. If we go back to Fubo and we go to the 5-minute or even the 3-minute, I'll go to the 3-minute, and we have that level, the 35 level from the daily, because that's what it rejected. If we look, it wicks over on all this volume, but this, like, since there's so much volume here compared to all these, and we see this like really wicky candle which represents weakness, we can tell like shorts were just like all over this. So either like a lot of people sold right before resistance, or there's like a ton of people shorting here because they know it's really major resistance. And like this volume candle literally tells us everything. So when we were at this candle, so he bought like, I think he bought right here, and then I told him to sell like right here, and because I said it was already rejected by 35, don't bother buying it if it doesn't close over 35 in the 5-minute. So first of all, this is also a spinning top candle. That basically signifies a reversal, potential reversal, not every time, but a lot of the times. And spinning tops are, you don't really need to know what a spinning top is. All you need to know is see how wicky this is. See how there's a giant wick here and a giant wick here. That just shows weakness, and it shows signs of a reversal. And especially seeing something like this after two really nice green candles, there's a lot of the times like this will definitely show like have a reversal, and we see the volume, we see these shorts come in, and we see them short off of 35, and then you can see it literally falls the rest of the day, and then it creates a lower high right here. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to bounce back when it was up here, but in reality, most of the times after it flushes this big, it usually it just creates a lower high. It does not go back way up here. So I'm definitely a little bearish on this, but I think the next levels to be tested is around the 32 area, because if we look, this level is 32.23, and these levels are 31.90, 32.11. So this is kind of like a nice demand zone right here. I think we see a retest of that because this is a demand zone, because see how big of a move it made off of this zone right here, and it consolidated right here and bounced. So we'll definitely, I think we'll see a retest of this 32.20 to like 32 area. But yeah, I don't think the play it, if you guys want to play it, I don't think the risk to reward is there right now, because if you played it, you're literally risking all this upside to only this little downside. So I would wait till it goes to this demand zone and see what happens from there. But yeah, that's another chart. Do you guys want me to go over charts you guys have in chart requests? I can go over some charts if you guys want. Action like that and supply at resistance usually mean the whales are getting in. So you were looking at the volatility right here, and that means whales are getting in. What's theta? So theta is for options, and if you guys don't know what options are, just listen along. But so theta is time decay. So basically, if you buy an option on Monday, so say you buy like a 33 call, and actually no, say you buy a 35 call, and it's at 0.50, so it's at $50 a contract, and you look at the theta. Where's the theta? And you look at the theta, and it says right here negative 0.12. Monday this would probably be a little lower, but basically this means for like, I think it's every hour the stock price doesn't move. So say it just stays at $32, and say you have a strike price of 35, and say the premium price is 0.50. Every hour it doesn't move, the premium price is going to drop by 0.12 of a contract. So it's gonna, so in another hour it's gonna be like point whatever, it's gonna be 0.50 minus 0.12, so that's 0.38. And this isn't how it actually works. Like Monday data is much less Monday, and the farther out of the money gets, the worse data usually is. But data is higher up here because these contracts right here. So if we look at these contract prices down here, see how far out of the money like this 45 call is. So the contract is 0.01, and that's the lowest it can go. So the data is literally 0.02. So the data doesn't really affect this. So that's something to think about. And if these options expire on Friday and Fubo does not reach $33, the data will keep getting worse and worse and higher. And that's why you see this data is higher than this, because if this expires in the money, you're allowed to exercise them. You don't really know to exercise them, but basically you want options to expire in the money. So if they're in the money, there's not much data because they aren't worthless. These are all worthless if they don't expire in the money. So that's why theta is worse on these. Switch to just calls or puts. All right, so I'll just go to calls right now. But yeah, do you have any other questions about that? Like, do you understand that? Can you look at MedX and Prog? Yeah, I can. Yeah, so if you're playing a really slow mover, no problem. And you can look up a video on YouTube about theta. There's definitely a lot more to theta, but that's like it basically means if the stock price doesn't move, theta will just destroy the premiums and drop your premiums no matter what. Like, if nothing else moves, theta will just destroy the premium. So that's why, like, if you look at SPY, let me just show you an example real quick. SPY on the daily. So if we look at SPY on the daily and we go to the other day, do you see how choppy this is? If you took, so this traded between 460.83 and 461.50ish. So say you took a 462 call this day, theta would just destroy it. So say you took a 462 call in the morning because you thought it was going to go there, and you took it at like $100 a contract. By the time it's back to the same price right here, so say you take it at 461.50 right here, and then say you take another one at 460, and say you're still holding it, and then the price goes back to 461.50. The option contract right here is going to be $100, and right here it's going to be like $20 because it's so close to expiring, and theta has destroyed all of it. So that's just something you want to keep in mind. So that's why I don't like trading options with sideways action. Fubo, I was looking, meaning that shorts were accumulating. Okay, that makes sense. Does anyone have any other questions? ARTL thoughts? Here, one second. I'll go over ARTL real quick. Oh, hi, Sakuna. It's at 58, bottomed out at 56. What are you talking about? Let me go over ARTL real quick. Oh, I like this candle. So if we look at the 1 hour, it's in an uptrend, and we know this because it creates a higher high, consolidates. This is a nice pattern. It's kind of sloppy, but This is a descending triangle. Pops out of the descending triangle. Again, that's a little sloppy. We don't really need the wicks. So it pops out of the descending triangle. That was a really nice move. And then it created a higher high, and now it's creating a higher low. So if we get volume, pay attention to the volume tomorrow, we can definitely see this pop again. What's the volume like in both days? So we see 230 million volume here and 84 million volume here. So if this loses volume, we can definitely see this sell off. But with good price action comes volume. So if other people have this drawn, like these descending triangles, and we see it break out, there will be volume. And as you can see this volume bar, 5 million volume compared to all this. This is like nothing. And as soon as it breaks out, we see a ton of volume come in. But this I do not like at all. I'm actually bearish on this now that I see this. So we see a huge selling volume candle right here, 37 million volume candle, and then another selling candle. But that does tell me that the buyers who got in here are mostly all out. So we definitely won't see another like 40 million volume sell candle, unless it's just like short attacked by like 50 million groups. But I think it's at 1.15. I think the next test would be 1 if it broke down there. But with these penny stocks, these are just like pumps and dumps, and I saw this getting pumped on Twitter. Like if they have news, they're usually pumped and then they're stumped. But watch the volume. If the volume cuts in half, this will likely sell off. But this is also very interesting right here. If it holds 1.10 to 1.15, I would be bullish. But if it drops below 1.10, I would get out probably. What do you think of XRTX? Yeah, I'll look at MedX right now. Here, let me look at MedX real quick. Yeah, I try to stay. I mean, I make a ton of money in pump stocks. It's really easy, and I'm used to it. But I usually sell pretty quickly because I know they get dumped. MedX is just a good swing. I would say I like this trend line. Now, like around this 0.50 level is a good time to get in. Your stop loss would be if it dropped below like 0.46 or 0.48. But this is a good swing, and this has been pumped. This is another pump penny stock, which I am pretty skeptical about. But we see how as soon as it gets down to this trend line, we see a little more volume in the past few days push this back up. So that's a really good sign. I might actually go long tomorrow if I see a nice giant green candle, maybe to like 0.53, 0.54. But I think this is a long-term swing, and a lot of people are expecting this to hit 1. And yes, 0.70 is a huge rejection level, so that's a level you want to watch out for. And as soon as you see it get to this 0.70 level, it's really like nice supply zone. So, I mean, there are shorting opportunities here too. But if we see it break the supply zone, I'd be pretty bullish on it. Yeah, that's it. What chart is it on? Or what time frame is it on? I can't tell. 5 minute? Yeah, so this is also like another pattern kind of. So as Nick pointed out, this is another pattern. And this is one of my favorite patterns as well because we can definitely see a nice breakout on this. Ideally, it would be bullish right now because it just bounced off this 0.49 level, and it actually bounced exactly off this 0.49 level. So that tells me that there's a wall right at 0.49. Let's go over. I'll go over Prague and then I'll go over XRTX. So Prague. I already have lines written. So 3.5 is a major level for Prague. I played this today. I actually full ported it on my school account. And 3.5 is a major level. So if we go to 3.5 right here. And we go to the daily. Actually, no. Let's go to the 30-minute. So we see it rejected right here by 3.5. We see it rejected again by 3.5. And then we see it break over, retest 3.5, then go back up, bounce us off at 3.5, goes under 3.5, rejects from 3.5, rejects, closes over, and now I think we're seeing a retest right here. So as long as it stays above 3.5, I'm pretty bullish on this. Yeah, I full ported this on my school investing account. Really? Yeah, I've actually full ported 3.55, sold it at 3.65 for like I think 50K gains because it was $2 million buy. And I was gonna hold it, but I didn't see enough like strength on it, so I ended up selling like it. Actually, I sold like at 3.70. I almost sold at the exact top. So it's the school account. Um, I mean I don't know if it'll load right now. The site is really bad. Half the time like the site's down. It's really funny actually, but my school account, I was in first and now I'm in last because I tried shorting DWAC and I accidentally bought it, I think, or something. It was one ticker where I clicked the wrong thing. So now I'm at 700K and most people are around like a million to 1.2 million, but I can just full port something, get an easy 100% and immediately be the first. So I have a lot of money to play. That's actually really funny, and like, there's no emotions involved at all. I'll literally just look on Twitter and I'll be like, what are people mentioning, and what penny stock are people mentioning, and what penny stock has a ton of volume, and I'm like, okay, this looks good, and I'll just full port it. I might full port IEG, but there's a rule saying that it needs to be above $2. So if this is above $2, I might full port that and wait for the catalyst. IEG is on a nice trend line right now. If you guys watch my YouTube videos, I went over trend lines. This is on a very nice, clean trend line. There is a catalyst for this coming up in Q4, which is good. I think like if you were to, this is a really good swing right now. I got bumped from first. So many YOLO Tesla calls. Yeah, there's no options, or else I would be in first easily right now. In mine, at least. There's only shares. So yeah, IEG is a really nice swing. They have a catalyst coming up. But if we see that catalyst fail, we could definitely see this tank below $1 easily. But I think it's like risk rate, I would say like 5 out of 10 maybe. I don't know nothing about this company, but everyone says, Q4 catalyst coming up, and last time it went to 6.4 when there's a catalyst. So, and there's 50 million volume almost, so that's kind of crazy. But I know a couple people in Discord swing this right now. XRTX. Wait, did Zella have earnings yet? I'm pretty sure this stock is earnings soon. I like Zella. XRTX. So I was watching this today. Zach Morris tweeted about it. Let me turn on. So Zach Morris tweeted about it right here, and then it actually halted up. Not surprised. And then we see it form this nice base right here. Has a really nice base on 3.5. Again, 3.5, just like Prague, is a major level for XRTX. So as long as it remains above 3.5, I'm pretty bullish. It's establishing a nice base, but this is kind of creating a head and shoulders. See the shoulder, and then it creates like 3 heads kind of. It's just like a general head. So I don't know if I can't really draw the shape. So like it would be like this. But I don't know. After hours doesn't really count, so we could see it run up a little tomorrow, then drop. I wouldn't really call this a shoulder yet because that's after hours. But I'll definitely be watching for that. But as long as it stays above 3.5, I definitely think money can be made with this. And if it drops below, we'll probably see it sell off unless Zach Morris pumps it again. I don't know what this company does. They must have news or something. And then it was probably pumped from there. But yeah, can you pump it, X? Thanks. All right. I think that's all I got for tonight. Unless any of you guys have any more questions. Nah, bro. I'm Zach Morse's dad. What? Tomorrow. So looking at Spy. I think we're gonna see. I'm kind of bullish on Spy. I don't want to fight the trend, and if you look at the 1 hour, Spy is clearly an uptrend. I have no idea when this is gonna drop, but until this, like, if this keeps going, I'm just bullish on this because if you look at the hour, why would you not be bullish on this? So until I see a drop if I see a drop below a higher low, that's when I will be bearish. So if we look at the 1 hour, this should be the last higher low, 460. So if we see this drop below 460, which is literally $6 off, I'd be pretty. We might see a nice pullback because if you guys look at the daily for Spy, pulls back every now and then, and these pullbacks are healthy. Yeah, never bet against a trend. Thoughts on Roblox? I had trouble in the past. I always tried to be like, oh, or Spy is so high, I'm gonna like go buy puts, and really you're trying to guess it. You're trying to beat the trend confirmation, and I always wait for confirmation. So I wait to see if it goes onto the last lower low or the last higher low. So right now this is the last higher low. We still haven't seen a dip yet. So we're probably gonna see a nice dip, nice red candles. Like this was the last dip, and then a dip pre-market. Looks like a gap down this day from 461 to 460, and we still haven't really seen another major dip yet. So we're probably gonna see a dip soon, to be honest. But we will not see a huge pullback until it falls under the last higher low. So the last higher low is 460 right now. 460.86. What stock will take us to Valhalla? AMC. True. All right, wait. Last thing, I'll go over Roblox real quick. Roblox, I almost took a call that went 200%. I've charted this quite a bit. There's a ton of resistance around this 85 level. It gets really heavy up here. This is a nice supply zone. So if we see, this is a nice supply zone. So I might buy puts if it falls below the zone, but if it closes above 86, if it closes above 85 on the daily or even 4 hour, and as you can see, there's a supply zone right here too. If it closes above the 85 level, which it never has in a while, last time it closed above the 85 was way up here. I'll be bullish on it, but for now, I don't really see, like, Roblox is a game. I don't know why they're $82. Like, I know a ton of people play it, but I don't see this going to like $200 in the future. Like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know what Roblox, like, I don't do DD in a stock. Maybe I sound like an idiot right now, but I do not see this going to $200. Yeah, Roblox is a game. It's like a, really, X? Roblox Corp. Let's look it up. Roblox Corporation, video game developer. So obviously they made Roblox. I don't know if there's anything new they're making or anything, but like maybe they're making something new. Who knows? I don't do DD in stocks. You should have played when the IPO was released. The IPO was released. It was at $60. Damn. To me, like on the monthly, I really like the setup. It looks like it's making a higher low right now, and in the long term future, like this is like a nice. It's gonna curl up, but it needs to get over this 85 level. That's a key level. I actually didn't. I thought this was out longer than it really has been, but on the weekly we see it make a lower high right there. So it's in a downtrend right now on the weekly. So we definitely need to see a break. this. Wait, it came out in March? That's crazy. Nancy Pelosi on some? I didn't even know that. So yeah, that is Roblox. We kind of have like a. If you want to look at it like this, it's bearish, and it's bearish because it's in a downtrend. But if we see a break above this line, it would be bullish. But yeah, that is Roblox, and that is all I got for you guys today. If you guys have any questions, make sure to add me in chat, and I'll be sure to answer them tonight. Hopefully, for you guys watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. I will be uploading this for you guys, and yeah, let me know if you guys like. DM me or anything, like say you use a pattern and you make money off of it, DM me because I like to see those things. Love you more, bro. All right, well, that being said, peace out, guys. Have a good night.